Good morning. Good morning. This morning, we're going to be drawing up some wheels of life of both death and growth. Some powerful, powerful stuff. Can't wait. And then we have some laws and some principles we're going to dive into to help you have the best day ever, stay in a positive direction, and help other people do the same. Cheers, friends. Enjoy the morning show. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk Terror Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best entrepreneur you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. Good morning, everyone. We're going to be drawing up two different wheels this morning, one of death and one of growth, and how it's so important for us to be doing the right things for the right people that are in alignment with what we want to do in life to make us feel good, because things can compound. Have you heard of the term compounding? It's a powerful, powerful metric, and it goes beyond the financial world. It goes beyond Warren Buffett's investments in the low index funds. It's something innate within all of us. And we're going to go over just how powerful that really is. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for tuning into the show this morning. So we're going to answer a few questions like, what is helplessness? And this is something that's really common. Additionally, we're going to have some stories for us to go over the hamster and elephant. And it's natural. So if you're feeling negative or something's coming at you, it's natural. And it's something we just can practice to be happy. Turns out happiness takes practice. And something to maybe back pocket and keep before we get started on these wheels is Newton's law. An object at rest remains at rest, and an object in motion remains in motion. This is really powerful, and that's why we're big believers in momentum, and that's why we go live 8 a.m. every single weekday morning. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's jump right into these wheels. We're gonna start with death, a little on the dark side. So this does sound bad, but keep up with me and check this out. I think this is really important. And it resonates with me a lot when I'm thinking about times that I feel bad, times that I feel good. So wheel of death coming right up. So the first portion of the wheel is I do nothing. Or I do something negative. So I either do nothing or I do something negative. Okay? So that's the first part of the wheel. Then it comes down to second part of the wheel is I feel guilt and shame. I feel guilt, shame. So we either don't do something, say if you said you wanted to work out today and you do not, and then you start to feel guilt and shame because of this. The next part onto the wheel of death goes to self-doubt. This is when I'm really big, and my one-page life plan class is really big on trying to help people alleviate this problem with this inner critic, that inner voice that just comes at us and bringing us down. You're not good enough. You're not doing this. And just a lot of negative feelings and emotions that we're trying to get rid of. But self-doubt comes in. So I feel guilt and shame from not doing or doing something negative. Say if I eat something unhealthy, or I don't make my calls, or I don't do something for my business, I feel guilt or shame. I have self-doubt, and then I feel helpless. Helplessness is the key term for today. Helplessness. Okay. Helplessness. That rounds out our circle of death. And the crazy thing about this is that it just keeps spinning and rolling into the wrong direction. So follow me here. So I do nothing or I do something negative. I feel guilt or shame. Now I have self-doubt, and now I feel helplessness. And I think it's beneficial. We're going to have a few stories in between the two wheels. So there's a story of an elephant and a hamster. So there was a scientific experiment done a long time ago, and there's a hamster into a box. And so the hamster was in the box, and in the very beginning, he was trying to jump out of the box, and he couldn't because it was enclosed. He's hitting his head on the top. He's scrambling all over. And after the next day, he's jumping a few more times, trying a few more. But on the third day, the hamster's trying to jump out of the box 0 times. Totally gives up. And on the fourth day, they take the lid off of the box, and the hamster doesn't even attempt to jump out. Doesn't even try, because he just gives up and believes that there's no point in me hitting my head on that. And I think this happens with human beings a lot, unfortunately, is we'll have bad thing happen. You'll try and get in a couple of relationships, or this, for the most real part for me is I'm reaching out to people and trying to get them to do my 1-page life plan, my class. So you can check that out over at talktoterrence.com. That's the textbook for it. But I'm trying to get people to do this. And when I ask them one-on-one and they tell me no, I'm like, my heart, I put everything into this and you don't want this. And this is such a good deal. It can really help your life. I know it can. They're like, nah, this is dumb. Don't need it. Whatever. I don't spend money on personal development. And then I believe I get told no a couple times. And I'm like, yep, nobody wants this. Nobody wants this. I start to feel guilt and shame. I start to have some self-doubt. And now I'm feeling helplessness. And then I don't keep going for the day. I don't keep pushing. I don't keep trying. I'm like, I just can't. There's just no point. Helplessness. And I think this is really common for all of us in different aspects of our lives, whether they're hamster or the other classic story, the story of the elephant. And so little baby elephants in the circus. So small little baby elephants in the circus, and they tie a rope around its leg and they stick a stake into the ground, and the elephant tries its hardest. It's trying to rip out and get out, and it cannot get out. It's not strong enough. The elephant continues to try for the next couple weeks, months, and as it's growing, it just eventually gives up. Same story as the hamster. It eventually gives up. And now it's this big, powerful elephant, totally capable of just ripping down everything, including the tent, but doesn't even try because of helplessness. That cycle of death. This is what we have to be so careful of. Even though we have a few bad experiences and we start to feel something that it just sucks and it's part of life, we have to remember that we can grow and we can get past out of it. Any experience is not a nail in the coffin. I'm a big believer that there's anything you can, like any experience that you have, you can overcome in today's day and age, especially if you live here in America. I think there's just like with enough to say, but we have to be able to believe. And that's what this belief is going to come into. I think this is a good segue to get into the growth. But that was the story of the elephant and the hamster, of feeling helplessness. Okay, so we answered that. Let's get back to the wheel of growth and keep this rocking and rolling. So the top component of the wheel of growth, I have my notes over here. Need a couple cheaters this morning. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. So the top component of the wheel of growth is I do meaningful things. I do meaningful things. That brings us to the second component of the wheel. That's I have a good feeling. Good feeling. So positive emotion. Positive emotion. This comes down to the bottom part of the wheel. So after I do something meaningful, so what would that be? Helping your family members with something. Do something nice for your spouse. Work on something on your business. Improve your health, like working out or something like that. I do something that is meaningful to me. And the powerful thing, a really important thing is it has to be chosen, like something that you want to do, not something that's like pushed onto you. Like you want to do this, and you do something that's meaningful to you. Then you feel positive emotion. You're like, oh, yeah, I worked out and I'm feeling pretty good. And then your skills improve. So skills improve. Skills improve. So your skills improve, and then that brings you up to this part of the circle of the wheel. I believe in myself. Confidence. Confidence. What else could we put down? Just belief. Because if I don't believe in my one-page life plan, if I don't believe in this class, and I don't believe in what we can do for people, nobody else will. And I think this goes for you and your own endeavors, whether it's your small business that you're in, or you're trying to help children, or you're trying to help your friends and your family, whoever you're trying to help. If you do not believe in yourself, nobody else will. Conviction is so powerful. I've spent a lot of money on sales training, and I'm doing another sales training activity actually right after this. But so much of it seems like they're just like conviction, belief, and all of this stuff. And it's like, man, it's so true. But to do that, we have to do more meaningful things. So if I make the attempts, and I can honestly say I've made a solid effort today. So ask yourself, are you going to make a solid effort today? Are you going to put yourself out there? Are you going to do something that's meaningful to you? So go through the growth cycle. Let's run through it one more time. So we do something meaningful to us. Let's do something meaningful to ourselves, whether it's helping our bodies grow in the way that we want to, our minds grow in the way we want to, our souls are how we feel spiritually. So I do something meaningful. Then enjoy that positive emotion. That is the joy of life. This, I like to call it joy, is the one I'm really chasing after too, as much as possible. Reduce stress, increase joy, positive emotion. After we get that joy, then we've already, because of the action, our skills are improving. We're getting better. Nobody's good at anything they don't do all the time. That is part of the, that's unfortunately part of the process, but the skills will improve. And think of when you get better at something that you care about. It feels amazing, doesn't it? I know personally, every time I get a little bit better at something I genuinely give a damn about, I'm ready to rock and roll, and I get confidence, and I get belief in myself, and I'm ready to do it again. And then I'm ready to feel more joy. And then I'm ready to be like, yeah, I'm getting decent at this. Damn, I got some confidence. So you see how the wheels just go round and round, heading into that amazing direction of us living to our full potential. So, something that we're fighting. Are we fighting it? Are we taking the actions? Don't forget Newton's law this morning. So, an object at rest stays in rest. An object in motion stays in motion. What is one thing we can do today to help put us in a positive motion? What is one thing that we can do today to follow the growth wheel? What is one thing that we can do? Just one. Start small, keep going. Small steps turn into big changes is something that we've probably all heard before. And some self-compassion, right? Some self-compassion. There's going to be some stuff that we do and we naturally are negative, like the news, social media companies, all the $1 billion are just getting pounded in to take your attention, and negative bias, because of the amygdala. That's the survival instinct of like us being always freaking out, looking for something negative that's going to hurt us. It's a survival tool from that's all the way down to the very bottom towards the brainstem where the instincts are at. So it's natural, and it's something we got to practice to overcome. But be careful of this wheel of death. Be careful of that wheel of death, because that can trap us, that can keep us down. And I'm sure you know somebody that's already just perpetuating in this cycle. And man, when you're trapped in it and the ball's rolling when the ball's rolling the wrong way, it's really tough to get out. So awareness can really help with this. This was the wheel of death. This was the wheel of growth. If you guys want to rewatch this episode, or if you missed any of it, you can always go over to Talk to Tanner at YouTube. Let's go ahead and share my screen real quick. Good morning. Good morning. How's everyone doing this morning? In case you're just joining in with us this morning, we just went over the wheels of growth and death, and you'll be able to go to Talk to Tanner over at YouTube if you need to rewatch this. This is episode 401. It'll be the most recent ones under live. So make sure to click live to go to that. Other than that, that's all I really had this morning. I wanted to give a shout out to to the weekend, to the Friday. I wanted to go over something really fun and exciting, and the wheels of growth and death, man. I mean, if we can just keep living in alignment with this growth model, man, what's really stopping us? So cheers to that. Cheers to you all. And in case you needed to hear it, I love you. You're a badass. You got this. Wheel of growth. Something meaningful, positive emotion, skills improve, confidence grows. Meaningful, positive emotion, skills improve, confidence, and keep it rocking and rolling, baby. You guys have an incredible, incredible day. I'm off for the weekend. I'm pretty excited about it. Before this morning show started, I was typing up the show notes, and it's like this glitch in the software, and I didn't save it as I was going through it, and I had a bunch of show notes, so that's why I was using a notebook today, because my show notes crashed, and then I had to retype them. It's like sick, dude. Not a great way to start the morning. But when bad things happen, we have a real opportunity to sit back, breathe. Remember, we're doing fine. And how are you responding? Like, there's a gap. We need a whole episode for this, for Viktor Frankl's. One of his most famous findings is, so there is stimuli, outside stimuli. I was typing up show notes, they got deleted. And then there's a space between the stimuli and my response. This is why you've probably heard that humans can choose how they respond. We can practice making better responses. So one of this incredible finding by Viktor Frankl. So he was in a concentration camp. They were treating him like crap. That outside stimuli was very, very strong, but he calls it freedom. And it's the gap between the outside stimulus, the space between, and our internal response. And I think a huge opportunity for myself, like this morning, when the show notes got deleted, took a second, get up, go breathe for a second, space, not freaking out, come back and get back onto it and get rocking and rolling. So maybe that's helpful for you guys, but Viktor Frankl, absolutely one of the best ever, but he's really good. And I mean, he was in one of the worst situations possible, and he overcome helplessness and wasn't the elephant or the hamster from the stories that we have. But all right, friends, that's all I had for today. I got to bounce. I got some sales training and stuff to do here shortly, but you guys all have an incredible, incredible day. Enjoy your weekend. Love y'all. I'll see you on the next one. Episode 402, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday morning. We'll be rocking and rolling. I'll catch you guys there. Peace.